Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go three abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got 'em for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again, it's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad you joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here, and boy, the rain theme has just been brutal this year.
It really has. I mean, I feel like every spring we talk about it, but this year's it is really bad.
And it really, now we've had good racing. We'll talk a little bit about it here in a second in the Midwest and out on the West Coast.
Yep.
But the East Coast just got clubbed. I'll tell you the group that I really feel for is the ASCS National Tour.
Yeah.
They've worked so hard, and it took a couple years to get this Battle of the Groves, William Grove and Sealands Grove together. And this year, the second year, built on the strength of last year, except for Williams Grove totally washed out. They got the heats in at Sealands Grove, and it rained so much they couldn't even use the rain date the next day.
Ugh.
And so these Midwest teams all the way to the East Coast and now all the way back because they run at I-30, I think, this week or something.
Yeah, and then you've got the World of Outlaws.
Right,
you've got
they've
Williams
just been washed
Grove.
out. Oh, my God.
But I will say the one positive thing is we're interviewing more people from California.
We
We're
are
getting
talking
more
a
from
lot
Midwest.
of California drivers. Yeah, we're talking a lot of Midwest drivers. Andy Forsberg going to join us on the program. He picked up win number 60 at Placerville.
Whew.
And Jeremy Schultz picked up the IRA bumper-to-bumper sprint win. So let's talk about our Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. King of the West was out in the NARC King of the West series. Dave Bradway Memorial. Justin Sanders, they had an open show on Friday night at Chico.
Yeah.
And he won that. And then they had the King of the West series race on Saturday night, and he won that. Pocketed like $4,000 to win plus $1,000 in lap money, and it was just piled up. So good weekend for Justin Sanders. Another one of those great California racers. Knoxville, Brian Brown again.
Yep.
Brownie's really got that thing dialed up.
Yeah, he does.
He really does. That 360 race at Knoxville.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm telling you what, John Egan and Joe Beaver ended up winning the race. Erin, I swear to God, they must have passed each other 15 times.
Absolutely. I mean, if you haven't seen those highlights, go
find them.
It's
go back to Dirt Vision.
one of the better sprint car races I've seen in a while.
It's unreal, but to me, what it focused on is I'm watching that highlight package. I'm thinking, and Brownie talked about it again in Victory Lane. We can talk all we want about everything, but a well-prepared track will make you look, as a racing series, as a track, as an operator, will make you look like a hero.
And there's the Duncans.
That track, I am telling you, the one line I think Beaver was running, he'd go in the middle and then diamond down on the inside. Where do you ever get a chance to do that? Usually you get in the middle if you have a good two-groove track, which they had, by the way. The bottom was great and the top was great, but usually when you get in the middle, you're sliding through, unless you're Donnie Schatz or Lance Deweese, okay? But that track, Beaver was able to get in there, and then he could diamond off and pass. I mean, that was unreal.
Yeah, we see that at the Nationals often, but to see it this early in the season is a salute to the Duncan family. Really.
Man, that racetrack was so good. IRA bumper-to-bumper sprints, we'll talk to Jeremy in just a little bit. He picked up the win. Jeremy Schultz in Placerville. It was Andy Forsberg picking up the win. And a lot of 360 racing across the country did get in, but really the East Coast, other than I think Canandaigua. Canandaigua got the Patriots in. The Cobra. Yeah. 55 years old. Still winning. Yeah, he said something to the effect of, when you get to be 55 years of age, you wonder when you come out every year, can you continue to do it? Well, the Cobra is still doing it. So, but really beyond that, the East Coast got kind of wiped out as far as racing goes. So there you have it, your Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. Great for T-shirts, for hoodies, for towels, for handbags, for whatever you need. They've got it. Remember, they've got the Wing Nation gear as well. You can find the Wing Nation gear at wingnation.com. But if you're a team, if you have a sporting team or a kids club or a church organization or a business organization and you need something done, you need to check out www.classicinkusa.com. That's classicinkusa.com. Andy Forsberg going to join us in just a second, but let's take a look at it. It was his 60th win at Placerville. Okay, the call with Speed Shift TV, Gary Thomas, Tony Goulda was the leader, another one of those great young talents from out on the West Coast. And Saturday Night Racing, it is our Dryden Diesel All Death-Defying Move of the Week.
And now for the Dryden Death-Defying Move of the Week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Into 1 and 2, Gualda's going to slide up to the top. Forsberg's got to run to the inside in turn 3. New leader Andy Forsberg takes over the lead.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
10 tours, over 200 nights of racing. The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 28th year. Whether you're enjoying the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series National Tour at Williams Grove, Eagle Raceway, Skagit Speedway, or any of the 9 ASCS regional tours across Arizona, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and beyond, winged and even non-winged, there's a race happening near you. Check online for schedule details at ASCSRacing.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And when you can't be there live, catch the National Tour and select regional events on RacingBoys.com.
Red Brand Fence. Safe, durable, dependable, and long-lasting. Whether it's keeping horses, cattle, and livestock in or stopping predators, Red Brand is the best fence money can buy. Each inch of the woven wire is inspected for top quality before it's crowned with the trademark Red Top Wire. Red Brand Fence, the most trusted name in agriculture, residential, and commercial fence for over a century. For more information, go to redbrand.com.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing as a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the past 16 years and a partner of Wing Nation for the past 4 years. We love sprint car racing, and we're there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
Hi, I'm Stevie Smith, and you're listening to Wing Nation.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. We are glad you joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post, and let's go right to the Red Brand Fence Hotline. Joining us fresh off from a trip Saturday night, his 60th time doing it, by the way, to Victory Lane at Placerville Speedway. Our buddy Andy Forsberg's on the line. Hello, Andy. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, guys. Thank you.
Well, congratulations. Tell us about that win on Saturday night.
Well, it was a long time coming, actually. We won a race earlier in the year. We won an SCCT race, and I think we thought we were going to set the world on fire. And then, man, April just kicked our butt. And we're back there starting in 8th and just kind of mucking around, going nowhere. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, is this how it's going to be all year? And then a couple of restarts came up about lap 10 and 11, and things started clicking. And next thing you knew, I was up towards the front. So once I got into second, I could tell Tony was having some issues the way he was entering. I assumed he was losing brakes, and that's ended up what his issue was, and kind of made my life a lot easier dealing with him. So I was able to get by him with a few laps to go, and away we went. We won number 60.
Andy, when you say you had a few restarts and things started clicking, what do you mean? Did you find a line? Did your car start to come in? Like, what changed?
I just didn't have cars in my way. Not to say that they're not supposed to be in my way, but I kept kind of getting blocked in where I was no matter what I did the first 10 or so laps. If I went low, the car in front of me went low, and vice versa. So all of a sudden, the seas just kind of parted on a couple of restarts, and I found myself up front, and it was like, whoa, now what do? I haven't been up here in a while, so I had to kind of refocus, and I was in clean air and kind of had to step my pace up a little bit. And like I said, Tony had some brake issues, which I highly doubt I would have gotten by him if he had 100% car himself. But that's all part of racing, so I'll take it.
Yeah, you got to take them when you can get them like that. That's for sure. You mentioned, Andy, 60 races. You're one of the veteran racers out there. You mentioned Tony, and it seems like every week, Erin actually said this a little bit ago, with everything on the East Coast getting rained out, we have talked to more California racers this year, and we absolutely love it. You have got, every year you got a bunch of kids coming in there. The talent level out there is just unreal with these young racers, like Tony, the guy you ended up doing for the win for on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's definitely a youth movement going on out here, and I mean, it's funny. I'm 42, and there's quite a few main events. If you sit back and look at it, I'm the oldest guy in the race, so it's odd to see these kids coming up. And there was a time when I grew up, watching my dad race in the 80s and in the 90s a little bit. When a young kid came into racing or racing a sprint car, they stunk it up for a while because there really wasn't any training grounds. I mean, you could come out of quarter midgets, but I'm not really sure a quarter midget really trains you to run a sprint car like the micro sprints and the outlaw carts like, Kyle Larson came out of. So, I mean, these kids come out of these lower divisions and they're ready to rock and roll almost immediately. And, you can't pick on them very long because they've got it figured out in a hurry. So, that's where we're at out here in California. The old 40-year-old drivers have their hands full with these teenage kids, and it's interesting to see how fast they are so quickly.
Yeah. Andy, when you took the lead, the crowd went nuts. And you mentioned something in Victory Lane, like you used to get booed and now you get cheered. Are they now cheering for the veteran to beat the young kids? What's that about?
I was shocked myself when I was getting out of the car. I looked at the infield announcer, PJ, and I was like, what, are they cheering for me? What's going on? So, I don't know. You see that, and I'm certainly not going to compare myself to Jeff Gordon or Dale Earnhardt, but I mean, they got booed when they were winning all the races, and later in life, they started getting cheered and appreciated. So I don't know if that's where I'm at right now, but yeah, it was interesting to see that for sure.
Andy, I was one of the other things, and it's kind of the state of racing at Placerville. It's a regular Saturday night 360 show. Okay, King of the West is racing out there at up at Chico, I think it was. Okay, that crowd is massive. It looks like Placerville just absolutely has things going on. What's the state of racing there? How has it been over the course of this year so far?
That's actually a good question, Steve. I might be more of a glass half empty guy. I'm kind of worried about racing out here a little bit. Okay. The fairgrounds really sock it to these racetracks. All of our tracks out here are on fairgrounds, so the fairgrounds got their hands out for everything, and it makes it hard on the promoters. So they depend on good car counts and back gate, and then hopefully the crowd shows up. I mean, we are in California, and it's Californians aren't huge fans of racing. Obviously, we do have good race fans, and we have diehards, but the bulk of California, they're more interested in going hiking and doing yoga on top of a hill, and maybe going to Starbucks and drinking a $12 coffee. So those people, no matter what these tracks do, are not going to come to a sprint car race. So they do have their hands full and promotional gimmicks and things like that. I mean, we've got good tracks and good promoters and good PR people out here working their tails off, and it's a tough road to hoe for them out here. So I would not want to be a promoter out here right now, I'll be honest with you.
And that's very interesting. Andy, I don't know if it's from doing this show or whatnot, but I seem like, to me, maybe it's because we interview more in California like we just talked about, or I don't know, maybe it's the young talent coming out, but it seems the state of the sport is better than it was maybe 5 or 10 years ago. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely got young drivers coming up and taking older drivers, I guess, places, and we've got the cars there. The big seesaw out here right now, in my opinion, is 360s versus 410s. The 360s are kind of squeezing the 410s out a little bit. All the biggest races out here, for the most part, are 360 races, and it's kind of created a culture that nobody's wanting to go to the top level of 410 racing. They get to 360s and they get to run the Trophy Cup and the Fall Nationals and run the tour races with the SCCT. And there's no incentive or will to want to go 410 racing. So that worries me a little bit because I like 410 racing, and I think that's the top tier of sprint cars. And if we want the Outlaws to continue coming to the West Coast, we need 410s in California. So it's, to me, there's an odd dynamic going on out here because the 360s originally in the late 80s were built out here as the limited sprint car class. And if you wanted to be cool, you went 410 racing. But over the past 25 years, the 360s have just kind of chipped away and gotten cooler and cooler and more expensive motors. And we got the big haulers. I mean, we're like a mini World of Outlaw 360 tour out here. And it's a little bit scary to me to think that if something doesn't change, the 410s might go away. So that's where I'm at. You might talk to somebody else, they might have a completely different opinion, but it's an odd dynamic out here to me.
Same conversation I had with Brent Kading sitting in the MRN trailer at Auto Club Speedway. It's fascinating to hear you say it because, and obviously Brent Kading. I mean, he certainly knows the region and everything, and understands it. So that's fascinating to hear you because you're echoing the same thing he is and the concern about the 410s. And so your situation here then, yet your opportunity, your best option, your best ride though is Placerville, the 360s. That's kind of your bread and butter. That's where your opportunity has presented itself. Is that an accurate statement, Andy?
Yeah, I used to try to go 410 racing. I've had some various rides throughout the years, and I kind of phased that out because I didn't really like traveling. And when I say traveling, I mean traveling to me is 4 or 5, 6 hours. I like to go to Placerville. It's 40 minutes from my house, or Marysville is 40 minutes from my house. So, I mean, I like to be close to home. I enjoy that. I mean, I do this for fun, so driving 4 or 5 hours isn't fun to me. But as far as the 360 portion, yeah, I run for F&F Racing. It's Alan Bradway and Steve Ticelli. They're two brother-in-laws that have a team together. Neither one of them can afford to go racing on their own, so they do it together. And they're the epitome of 360 racing. They're small-time racers that enjoy racing, and they can afford to go 360 racing, but they can't. That type of team can't justify racing against a Dennis Roth or an Elk Grove Ford. So sometimes it's frustrating that you look at that and you're racing against those guys. But like last Saturday, it was more of a local race. The bigger teams were at the Bradway Memorial Race, which I mentioned I drive for Alan Bradway. It's kind of frustrating that we couldn't go run the Dave Bradway Junior Memorial Race because I drive for their family, but they are committed to running the point series at Placerville, so we kind of had to bypass that race. But, and I actually run my own personal car on Friday nights at Chico for 360s. I can't run for points there because I got other obligations. But, yeah, I mean, we run about 8 to 10 410 shows, and most of those are the Outlaw stuff when they come to town. And every once in a while we strike gold and we do good with the Outlaws, and it makes you feel like you're invincible, and then the next night you run with them and you can't even get out of the B. So it's interesting running with the Outlaws.
Yeah, for sure. Andy, you mentioned driving a bunch of different cars, your own car, the X1, the 92. You're a seasoned veteran, but is that sometimes challenging? And then to add on top of it, you run a few 410 races here and there.
It's not really too challenging. I'm kind of accustomed to that. I've kind of put myself in that position because I like to race as much as possible. So it's hard to do that with one team. So I guess I've pretty much been doing that since about 03, 04, where I'd run for one guy on Friday and somebody else on Saturday, or my car one night. So I've gotten used to that. And I'm pretty anal about making sure everything's right and comfortable, and I get my stuff situated to where everything feels nice and comfy. So it works out for me.
Works out, I guess. Holy cow, 60 times at Placerville. I'd say that's working out. Andy, it's always a pleasure to chat with you. We appreciate the time. Congratulations on the milestone. I know there'll be more as you continue on racing with these young kids around there, but we wish you the best, and I know we'll chat with you down the road, but we appreciate the time.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
There we go. Andy Forsberg joining us. Great guy. Always been one of our favorite guys to talk to because he gives you such a good assessment on what's going on. And
yes,
it's ironic. His concern is identical to what Brett Kading shared with me. We had a little bit of it on the MAV TV show, but we sat around afterward and talked, and it's the same exact thing.
Well, and it's neat for us to hear, for me to hear, because, we talk to these drivers. We hear about all these up-and-coming drivers from California, but to hear his honest opinion about the state of the sport out there it's...
Yeah, the good news is they got this brand new, really, really cool Sprint Car Challenge Tour that everyone does a great job with it. And the challenge is that that's a 360 tour. And to Andy's point, and Brent said the same thing, we got to keep it and to tie into his other point about the fairgrounds. Yeah. Okay, as Brent shared with me, the biggest races of the year for these racetracks are when the World of Outlaws come to time.
Yeah.
That's their time to make some serious money. And if we don't have 410s, or if we have rain like we've had this year, but if we don't have 410s, then these tracks, it goes to Andy's other problem with the fairgrounds, and so the challenge continues. I will also point out that he talked about doing yoga on top of mountains. Kendra Jacobs is planning yoga for the Knoxville Nationals on top. I think she's doing on top of not a mountain, but the Hall
Brian
of Fame.
Klosser
Yeah,
Tower.
the Brian.
Yep.
So we're going. So Andy, the California yoga people, they can come to the Knoxville Nationals.
There you go. We
and
might
get their
turn them
yoga
into
on.
fans.
Exactly. Get their yoga on. So how about that? Hey,
And
we need to
Postman's going to do it with his yoga pants.
I've not been invited formally, so we'll have to see.
Oh.
We'll have to see, and then I'll have to buy the yoga pants.
Oh boy.
Yes, exactly.
And there's the invitation.
There
Got lost in
goes
the mail.
See, I'll fix the invitation right there with just the suggestion of yoga pants. That'll take care of any prospect of an invitation. Let's step away. We'll go to the Midwest. Jeremy Schultz, he joins us next.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt lay model have taken the checkered flag on Weld racing wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld racing wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld racing wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing, proven speed.
Here's your chance to win a set of your very own Hercules tires. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN. Simply register, and each month we'll give away one set of tires. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading mileage coverage to get you wherever you need to go, no matter where the road takes you. Register now for your chance to win a set of Hercules tires at HerculesTires.com/MRN. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
The WinAZ06Corvette.com sweepstakes to benefit the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa is underway. Go to WinAZ06Corvette.com to find out how you can win the Torch Red 2019 Z06 Corvette that is on display now in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. The winner will be announced Saturday night, August 10th during the 59th Annual Knoxville Nationals. Visit WinAZ06Corvette.com to win this awesome ride.
The family with the 8-foot stainless grill is in. Bachelorettes hooting at the drivers are in. The tightwad dad doing a free parking fist bump. Oh, yeah. He's in. Nano with 6 speeding tickets? She's in. Cornhole aficionados and NASCAR newbies, in and in. The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race at Kansas Speedway, Saturday, May 11th, under the lights. Tickets at KansasSpeedway.com. You in?
Hi, I'm Dale Blaney, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Dale Blaney bringing us back from break. You know it's a big show when you got Dale Blaney, the low rider, bringing us back. We are glad you joined us, Erin Evernham and Steve Post. Let's go right back to the Red Brand Fence hotline because, we've lost him. We've lost him. We've had a phone malfunction.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. So we were just talking about this off air. We're going to talk to Jeremy Schultz with the IRA Bumper to Bumper Sprints. Man, they've got a pretty good little thing going on up there.
They do, and they have for years, but it seems like in the last few years it's gotten a little bit more, I don't know, maybe it's social media, maybe it's whatever, but it's a great group of racers up there, and they've got a nice series. They run for a good amount of money. It's
Their announcer, great big guy. He's got weird hair, and I forget his line. I heard it just recently, but we put this and that, we put this and that, and we put the out in law is what he does when they come to green. It's just he's really good. I heard him at Route 66 Speedway last year when they ran there with the All-Stars, and that guy is really good at what he does and really gets people pumped up and jacked up. So nice stuff, and getting people jacked up is what happens when you get to victory lane. Joining us fresh off a win Saturday night at Wilmot, Jeremy Schultz joins us. Hello, Jeremy. Welcome into Wing Nation.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on board. Congratulations on that win. Tell us all about it.
Oh, it was a fun night, We're getting started with the new team I'm driving for this year for Bob and Dawn Hood. And we started off on a bit of a rough foot down at 34 Raceway in Burlington, got the car upside down, the feature down there. And then we've been battling weather, and we got the race at Evernham right here at home. And we had a solid night there, got the car going in the right direction and stuff. And then we got to Wilmot, and I've had a tremendous amount of success at Wilmot. I don't know why, but I do get around that place pretty well. And we did everything we needed to Saturday night. We qualified mid-pack, ended up, I think we were 5th quick overall. Heat race, we struggled a little bit. Car wasn't exactly where we needed it to be, but we got it straightened out and going in the right direction, and got a good redraw with a little fan drew us the pole position for that. And from there it was we started front row and just kept the thing going in the right direction and stayed in front of a good field of cars, and that's what we needed to do. So.
Jeremy, you mentioned you led all of the laps of the race. There was a last 5-lap dash there. How close, or how did you know that Bill Baylog was there?
Yeah, I knew Bill was there. Wilmot's got a really nice scoreboard right off the end of turn 1 and 2 there, and you can kind of watch, who's sneaking their way up there, and it always keeps you on your toes when you see 17 behind you, because Bill is, he's the guy up here, and anytime we can beat Bill it's a great feeling, and you're doing something right if you can do that, you know what I mean? And so the few laps right before we got the caution, I was running top in 3 and 4, and Bill had a really good line through 3 and 4, and I seen his nose wing, and we got that caution. I'm riding around there and thinking, I'm pretty good, but Bill's really good, and I just told myself if I can be half as good as he is in 3 and 4, I know 1 and 2 I was real good. So if I could be half as good as him in 3 and 4, I should be able to hold him off, and that's what I was able to do. So
nice, that is awesome. You sprint car drivers, you crack me up. Talk about look at the scoreboard. I'm doing this. I'm doing. It's like I'm telling you what, I would have a death grip on the wheel if I'm riding shotgun.
Yeah.
Erin, you're one of them. Don't you look?
And I actually want to know, did you see Bill's line on the scoreboard, or did you see that when he was actually, running underneath you and you're up on the top? Like, did you see that on the scoreboard?
No, you can't. It's not like a jumbotron.
Oh, okay.
Where you can actually see the racing. But,
yeah, because I've seen that too.
I seen his number there, and then I seen his nose wing, like you said, a few times sneak underneath me, and I was good enough on the top, but it was getting to be a long, long way around. And I told myself, you just gotta be calm. I've been in that position before with Bill behind me, and it had been such a long time since we got to victory lane. We didn't win a race all year last year, and that was pretty tough to take when you've won at least one race every year previous to that. And so I was just telling myself, just breathe, just hit your marks and do what you got to do to keep the thing straight and stay in front of him. Plus the 24 was right behind him. Everybody knows Rico is always good wherever he goes, and so with both of them guys behind you really got to keep your composure and just breathe and just hit your marks and make sure you do everything right so you don't screw it up to give one away. So
yeah. Obviously, you did that and scored the victory. You mentioned you were with a new team this year, and you mentioned the rough start down at 34. How important is it now to get this solid footing? I mean, I know we're into May, but with the weather and everything, it's only the 3rd race of the season. How important is it to get a win checked off, to get this solid footing, and now to springboard you into the bulk of the season?
I personally need it for myself, and from not winning a race the previous year and struggling like that, it's good for, my self-confidence just to know, hey, look, we can still do this. You know what I mean? Because you get down on yourself and tell yourself, well, can you really still do this? And so for us to do it, just for myself was huge. And then to do it for Bob and Dawn with their new team, they haven't won a 410 race yet. And, they did it last year with a rookie and stuff. So for us to be able to get that done for them right away, right off the bat, it's really good momentum, I think, for us as a team to get a bunch of them stacked up this year. Maybe we can get 4 or 5 of them, or more than that. And that's what we're hoping for. But to get it going early, I think that's going to be big for us, because I've never won this early in the season before. So to be able to do it, it's super exciting for everybody.
Well, hopefully it's a sign of good things to come this year. Jerry, before you came on the air, we Steve and I talked about IRA, how it's got a good thing going on. You got a great set of competition. You've got great tracks. Talk a little bit about the competition level. I mean, you've mentioned Bill Baylog. You mentioned Rico running a bunch of races with you.
Yeah, we got so many competitive cars up here. There's Bill's obviously the top of the heap. Got guys that I worked for before I even started racing. Scotty Neisel. I mean, he's been around a long time. He's two-time champion. He's a really good driver all the time. And now we're starting to draw, guys from down in Illinois and stuff like that. Like Jake Blackhurst, our champion last year, super excellent kid, excellent racer. Paul Nienheiser was up, this past Saturday and raced with us. And we get to race with him when we go down into Illinois and out to Iowa and stuff like that. So it's great to see them guys coming up. Get to race with Austin McCarl. They've been up, and it's always fun racing with them guys. And we're kind of up here by ourselves a little bit, but we're 5 hours from Knoxville, so it's nice to see them guys get up here and race with us and keep us on our toes and stuff like that. And it's tough because everyone knows the 410 racing is so expensive. And we have a really good 360 group up here, which is really, way better price to be able to afford to race, so you get to race with, a sprint car, but it's a 360. But so if it's hard to get, the new blood to get into the 410 stuff because it is so expensive, So we got a great group of guys, and we got a really great series to be able to race with. And Steve does an awesome job, looking out for us racers and getting us the best purse he can, every week. And we got a really good point fund to be able to race for at the end of the year and stuff like that. So it's a really, really good deal for us up here. And I'm just, super excited that I get to be a part of it. And we've won one championship, and I hopefully, if we can keep this momentum going that we got here at the beginning of the year a little bit, and hopefully we can end up at the top of the pile at the end of the year. So that'd be awesome if we could do that for Bob and Dawn.
Boy, that would be a great first season with that that new team, that new combination here. Final question for you. Unfortunately, this Friday night, Jackson has already rained out, already canceled because of the just the wet weather that we've been facing all over the country, for Pete's sakes. But this Saturday night, you mentioned the 5-hour trip from Knoxville up to see you guys. Well, you guys are making that 5-hour trip the other way. You looking forward to getting down to Knoxville and seeing how you stack up against the gang down there?
Yeah, I definitely am. Last week we got rained out of Wilmot because they were, Steve was definitely worried about all the rain that we had gotten. We were thinking about heading down to Knoxville last weekend to, get some laps down there for this upcoming weekend. And later on in the season, we're planning to run the Knoxville Nationals with my car and stuff like that again this year. So definitely excited anytime we can get some laps in the half miles. I love racing on half miles. I'm not sure why. I think I like the speed, and you gotta be smooth, and it makes me really focus on some of that stuff, and it helps on the shorter tracks too. So just super excited to get down there and just to be able to race even. Like you guys said, the Outlaws have gotten rained out so much, and the weather's been tough for us a little bit going here already this spring. So we're definitely looking forward to it, and just need to keep getting that seat time. That's the most valuable thing to make any driver better. So the more time we can spend in the seat, the better.
For sure. Jeremy, congratulations on the win. We appreciate the time here today. Always a pleasure to chat with you guys from up in Wisconsin there with the IRA. Love what Steve Sinclair and everyone is doing there. Congratulations. Best of luck this weekend and on throughout the season. Maybe we'll talk to you as the year goes on as well.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
There we go. That is Jeremy Schultz. And, wow, you just get so optimistic when you hear racers like this just getting a chance to do it and then getting a chance to go to Knoxville this week.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, territory.
Knoxville.
Yes, Knoxville, Iowa. That's right. Home of yoga.
Oh, gosh.
And sprint car racing.
Hashtag yoga pants.
We do, yes. Hashtag yoga pants. We need to step away. We've got more Wing Nation in just a moment.
Since the dawn of American industry, Dryden was there as the country built its first roads, laid the blocks of its factories, and spanned rivers with new bridges and rails. Today, with Dryden's all technology, we instill this heritage into every Dryden oil, lubricant, fluid, and DEF product we make. Dryden is a tradition of performance with 21st century technology. Dryden, official motor oil of the World of Outlaws, and always American-owned and operated. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery. Located in Greater Pittsburgh, Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back. No matter what or where you race, Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings has you covered. Check out the premier Shark Wing as well as other sprint car wings and components, sprint car, mini and micro sprint wings, and the HRP Original Recess Rivet Wing. All HRP wings are wind tunnel tested. HRP carries a full line of affordable, top-of-the-line, USA-built sprint car components. Shop online for all this and more at hrpracing.com. The Racer's Choice, Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings.
The battle for the 2019 championship will be filled with twists and turns.
We got to kind of calm down for these speedway races because you can use the bumper, but you end up taking 10 other people with you.
Each weekday, NASCAR Today brings you the top stories in the sport.
That's a totally different experience for me and Cup.
In the garage, at the track, or behind the scenes, NASCAR Today keeps you up to speed every weekday.
Go for it. What do we got to lose? I don't know. I mean, you might as well try it, right?
This is Joey Saldana, and you're watching MRN's Wing Nation on MRN.com.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Are you registered for your free tires? Huh? You're not? You are? You're not? Okay, well, now you need to answer that question. You go to HerculesTires.com/MRN every month. Hercules Tires is going to give away a free set of tires. So if you're not registered, shame, shame, shame. But the good news is you got a few days left here in May to get yourself registered on there. And register for your free set of Hercules tires. We've got a little bit of a social media thing happening now. And I'm not sure what it says about society, in all honesty. This will last until about noon on Tuesday. So those of you listening later in the week, you missed it. But there's apparently a poll on the Wing Nation Twitter feed about yours truly in yoga pants.
Yes. And if you vote yes, there is a chance that postman will wear some branded Wing Nation yoga pants.
And if you vote no, you won't have to see me in yoga pants. So you know what to do.
Vote yes.
Vote no. So yes. So that's on our Twitter account. Yeah, our producer Krager apparently doesn't have enough things going on in his life, so he had to come up with this nonsense on the poll.
Great idea.
You're down to 27% now, Steve.
I'm at 20. Okay, right now at this point, I'm at 27%. Thank God. Let's keep those numbers going in the right direction. South, that is. National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum birthday calendar. Lloyd Beckman Monday. A.J. Watson would have been on tomorrow, Wednesday. Roger Beck, Jim Cheney, Johnny Hannon, Burl Ward later this week. Oscar Red Garnett, Laverne Nance later this week. Today would have been the 45th birthday of Dave Steele. Class of 2018. Born May 7th, 1974. He had a total of 60 USAC wins, 24 sprint cars, 18 midgets, 16 Silver Crown. He won the Turkey Night Grand Prix twice, two-time Silver Crown champion, two-time Little 500 champion. And sadly, this is one of those that we recall watching this one and knowing where we were at March 25th, DeSoto Speedway 2 years ago. Lost his life at 43 years old racing down there. So Dave Steele, the sad part is we lost Dave at way too young an age. Mm-hmm. The good news is his story will forever be told at the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, turn number 2 at the famed Marion County Fairgrounds in Knoxville, Iowa. And yes, make sure while you're signing up for things, winaz06corvette.com. Go there and sign up to win a Corvette. The good news is they had their best week last week that they've had all along. Yeah. The bad news is we got to get this thing going until August 10th. They still need a couple more people to get in on this. So Sprint Car Hall of Fame, they're giving away this Corvette. And so win a Z06Corvette.com, or you can go to SprintCarHof.com and get the link to it there as well. Wing Nation gear is available at wingnation.com, and, of course, at the All-Star Souvenir Rig, wherever we come to town. I want to mention this one, too, while we're talking about some of our partners and friends. Plan B Sales, one of our sponsors on our show Thursday. They're going to be sponsoring Christopher Bell this weekend at Knoxville, or at Eldora, for the Let's Race 2 on the Swindell Speed Labs. Yeah, they've already sold out of some shirts. I am telling you, Kevin and Jordan
are on to something
They ain't
big.
scared to sell you some shirts.
No.
They're giving Brady and Ciciana a run for it in the shirt business.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, tip of the cap to our friends at Plan B Sales. And remember their deal. Now, I'm giving you all these deals. Their deal is free shipping if you use the promo code MRN on anything. If you buy NASCAR stuff or sprint car stuff or whatever it is. So there. I think we've gotten through all of that. Now a look at our HRP Racing Products upcoming calendar. Speaking of HRP Racing Products, my boy Jeff Wessel. I haven't heard anything about his Legend Racing yet this year.
I haven't either.
I'm gonna have to track him down and see. He's been busy. He's way up there in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay, and he had his snowmobiles put away, and then they had another snowstorm, so I think he drug them back out for a final ride.
Well, that's why we haven't heard much about the
Legends.
Legends.
Legends car, yeah. Oh, him and his wife. You want to talk about snowmobiling fools?
That's fun stuff.
Oh, that's great stuff. It really is. So, but our HRP Racing calendar, upcoming calendar, on Thursday on our podcast, we're going to talk to Justin Lowe. Justin is the general manager at Williams Grove. The theme this year has been rain, and nobody. Well, I don't know we're comparing here, but few have been clobbered as bad as Williams Grove. 5 straight Friday nights. So we're going to talk to Justin, get a little behind the scenes on what that is, what that means, what all goes into it, opportunity loss, that sort of thing. So looking forward to talking to Justin about that. Now, Saturday on Wing Nation, presented by MAV TV, how about this guy? Ron Capps.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he put his Napa Dodge in Victory Lane. He won a Wally at Atlanta. He's going to be on our show this week talking sprint car racing. Yeah. Hey, thanks to Andy Forsberg and Jeremy Schultz for joining us here today.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our string. Watch Wing Nation Saturday mornings on MAV TV. You can also find Wing Nation on wingnation.com or your favorite podcast provider. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.